And we are live. What's going on, team? Johnny back with another live day trading session. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your morning. Today is February 13th, 2026. It is 7:26 my time. Markets are in the red, but Bitcoin is in the green. So let's see how this day actually plays out. Okay, let's go ahead and start sharing my screen with you all. As you can see, QQQ did push down to $597, guys, breaking that psychological support of about 600 bucks. So it is hovering right around $600. It was green just for a moment when it pushed up to 602.30 and now back down. This has to do with the CPI report for January. So right now, CPI is coming in, falls 2.4%, below expectation of 2.5. Core CPI inflation fell to 2.5, which is in line with the expectation of 2.5. Core CPI inflation now at its lowest level since March 2021. The odds of further interest rate cuts are back on the rise. So I want you guys to be aware of that, okay? Let me go ahead and share my link with the team. Boom, boom. There we go. Just notified over 700 LTE members that we are now live, which is great. All right, and I wanted to talk to you guys about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is on the rise as well. Bitcoin pushing up to 67,200. It was as high as 67.4. So as you can see, a nice upward trend from yesterday. Today is Friday the 13th. Yesterday, markets closed, and this was at around 65.9, about 66,000. It has pushed up. I do have my alerts set if it pushes higher and if it pushes lower. I'd love to see it though. I'd love to see this begin to drop, get below this moving average, and begin to sell off. That would give us a reason to buy or to short MSTR and buy some MSTZ. Now I did buy 10 shares pre-market just about 5 minutes ago, right before we got on the live stream with you guys. I bought 10 shares at 14.66, and I will continue to add shares as this gives me reason to. Okay, doesn't mean you guys need to buy any shares right now at this moment, as Bitcoin is kind of hovering around this level, and we could actually see a big pump on QQQ to test, maybe 604, 605 again, or even back up to 617. This could also dip below 597.43. So I do have my alerts set for QQQ. We'll see what happens as far as when the market opens. I'm excited to find out with you all today, and I'm happy to be here. This is one of my favorite parts of the day, is to trade with you. And the markets will be closed on Monday due to President's Day. The markets will be closed. So I want you to be aware of that. We probably won't live stream because there won't be anything to do. I'm sure I'll get some videos out and we'll do some fun stuff on Monday. But our Sunday stock talk will also be put back one day because the markets won't open Sunday night. They'll open Monday night. So we will be hosting our Sunday stock talk on Monday night. So I want you guys all to be aware of that, okay? All right, how exciting. You guys have any plans for this weekend? You guys doing anything today on Friday the 13th? Or on Monday for President's Day? A lot of people have a 3-day weekend. All right, market's pushing. Let's see what happens. If they continue to push or if they fall. There is no sign of clear direction, so let's make sure that we all do our part by being patient and being calculated when we do take a trade. All right, that's important today. We don't want to give all of our gains from the week away. Looks like it may continue to sell off here. We'll see if it holds or if it gets rejected and starts to sell off. Bitcoin also just kind of hovering, right? Just kind of flatlining here. I'd love to see it get below the moving average with another nice little sell-off. It's kind of been the theme lately. Now on the 30-minute chart, you can see this is consistently has a downtrend, making lower lows and lower highs. You can see that pretty clearly here. So I'd love for this to continue, right? Continue to make those lower lows, those lower highs, continue with this kind of downward trend here. And I would love to get stuck in this channel. You know, it'd be nice for this to stay within this channel here. Come on. All right, so we'll see what happens if that does continue on its downward trend. This would be the area to potentially start shorting MSTZ or MSTR, sorry. QQQ, it's holding. So if this pushes up, that would give every reason for MSTR to push up with it. And then once MSTR pushes up with it, then we can potentially short it as well, okay? Now MSTR will follow QQQ, it'll follow Bitcoin. It kind of just has its little mind of its own. Looks like it did test a high though just now as I was speaking of around 28.45. Looks like it was testing that yesterday's resistance level. We'll see if it breaks through or if it begins to sell off more. Again, it's holding above this 45 EMA. We want to see it go below it. I did buy a few shares of MSTZ pre-market, so I'd love to buy more on the dip below or add to my position if it begins to push higher. So here we go, QQQ pushing up. Let this thing run. You know, if you guys are going long on any positions, if you guys are wanting to go long on, say, Sound or, you know, SoFi, Netflix hood, this would give every reason to go long as long as the market continues to push up. So market just hit 601.50, 601.60. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are all having a great day, great start to your day. What are you guys looking at? What are you guys trading? I would love to know. Here we go, markets are in the green. Time to switch our light. Friday we saw a huge recovery, so we'll see if we get another big recovery today, or do we not? Do you see this? This was on Friday, a nice big recovery here, and then it flatlined, testing that resistance around 617. Does it push up again, or does it sell below? On the 30-minute, it's getting rejected by that 45 EMA, so we could see some more downside to the market for sure. It's all about being patient, being calculated. Looks like Bitcoin's about to test. We'll see if it gets a breakout above. If it does, then MSTR will surely push up above this level, which gives us a reason to be able to buy more on this dip below. Okay, I'm going to add 10 shares. Get a better average at 14.22. Would have been nice to get filled at 14.15. Please do not copy my trade. You're here to learn. Trade at your own risk. But we will be shorting Bitcoin, shorting MSTR, basically shorting the market today. Looks like QQQ might break below that moving average. If it does, it gives us every reason to continue to add to our MSTZ position. And here we go, solid break below. Bitcoin pushing up, and MSTR just kind of flatlining, right? It's just kind of there. So we're going to be patient. Just because you can trade the first 30 minutes of market open doesn't mean you have to. Make sure your trades are calculated. Make sure you have a plan. And just know we have all day. We have all day to take a position. Just because I am taking a position doesn't mean you need to, okay? All right, all right, all right. Bitcoin in that downtrend. I'd love to see this downtrend continue. MSTR pushing higher. Let it run up. It's going to test this moving average here. I'm actually going to buy 10 more at 14. Right there. Buy 10 more at 1404 for MSTZ. Because I want to get a good price for when this rips back up, okay? There we go. Nice. QQQ. Here we go. Are we going to get that selling pressure that we're looking for? Also, if you're having trouble commenting in our live chat today, you do have to be a subscriber of the YouTube channel. Just simply hit the subscribe button and you can start chatting with us immediately. I'd love to know who's tuning in. Say hello. Let me know where you're from if you feel like it. We have people from all over the country, and we have some people in different countries all over the world who tune into these live streams. So here we go. QQQ holding. I'd love to see it begin to sell off a little bit more. So do you see this descending pattern here with the EMA? The blue line, the 45 EMA, it's acting as resistance. Bitcoin, first sign of a red candle in a few candles now. MSTZ already back up to 1440, 1450. I should have bought some more of this, man. Only got 30 shares. I should have really loaded up at $14. Even giving myself 50 to 100 shares would have been nice, but we're just being patient, waiting for a sign of direction. Can always add more. QQQ, it is below that moving average. Went back up to retest and it looks like it got rejected. We're going to see some more downward, some more selling pressure potentially right here. It's doing very good holding. QQQ to 599. So now it's below that 600 psychological support, right? Crypto with a big dip and tried to pop right back up. We'll see if this holds, which means it would give us an opportunity to buy some more. Let this thing fall. The more it falls, the more I'm comfortable buying MSTZ. MSTR is a BS company. It does nothing but hold Bitcoin. It doesn't sell a product, doesn't sell a service. It just goes up when Bitcoin and QQQ go up, and it goes down when these fall, and usually it falls pretty hard. Bitcoin pushing up. Let it. QQQ selling off down to 598.80. And here we go. Selling pressure will continue for QQQ. For everyone tuning in, we already have a position, a light position on MSTZ. MSTR is up 4%. At one point it was up 5%. There we go, holding. If it breaks below, we add more. If it bounces and pushes up, we wait for a new high. Oh, big sell-off by Bitcoin. We're adding another 10 shares at 1455. So we're basically buying and loading up on this dip right here. for the potential, for it to go up to $16 from yesterday. Be a nice 10% profit on the day if it does happen. Ooh, look at that. Nice rejection here right off of that horizontal pattern. And this can come all the way down to 65. I'd love to see that happen for Bitcoin. QQQ dropping all the way down to 597. So this again, this plays a factor in our short. QQQ could sell off back to 587, 580. So we'll see how low can the market sell off today. Or do we get a full recovery? That also happens sometimes too. There we go. More selling pressure. Beautiful. Beautiful. QQQ down to 596.80. Wow, look at the sell-off. Insane. Bitcoin selling off. MSTR selling off. And that just makes our trade that much better. Already up $20 on the day, 3% on 40 shares, guys. And that's not even the max amount of shares I could buy. I could have bought 100 shares, but again, we're being calm, cool, and collected. We're being calculated. Now let's see what happens. QQQ down to 596.46. Remember, do your part by locking in profits when you see reason behind it. When you think you should lock in profits, make sure you are, okay? There we go. Are we going to get a nice pop back up, or are we going to get some more selling pressure here? Bitcoin down. QQQ trying to recover here at 596. Okay, looks like it's pushing, which should give a reason for MSTR to bounce a little bit. Love to see it, guys. Markets are in the red, and we are in the green. Just like that, up 3%. Let this retrace back down. We could always buy a little bit more. Big red candle for Bitcoin. QQQ pushing. All right. Big move for QQQ. Big green candle. Let's see what happens. Looks like it's almost a full recovery. And there we go. It's going to come back down. Bitcoin slightly recovering. Got below that moving average though. I'd love to see that. Love to see more of that selling pressure continue. It's going to test this moving average. It's either going to recover or it's going to begin to sell off some more. QQQ all the way back up to moving average. Look at this green candle. That's why it's important to make sure you're locking in profits and you understand direction and the way certain stocks move, right? Look at this huge green candle. Good morning. Good morning, Andrew. How you doing? Andrew has showed up to every live stream over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Has not missed a single live stream. So give some props up for Andrew here. Good job showing up, being consistent. All right, let's see. Does this begin to push up higher? Or do we get a little bit more rejection? That was an insane sell-off within the first 15 minutes. And a full recovery, guys, in 15 minutes. Bitcoin, same thing. Nice big sell-off here. Nice red candle. And a beautiful recovery. MSTR back up to all-time highs. And we were up 20. Now we're down 20. So that was a $40 swing right there. Beautiful V shape right there. So it's important to know when to lock in profits. I thought about it for a moment. MSTR up to 130. I'm going to add a little bit more here at 1377. Do not copy me. Bought 10 more shares at 1380. Hey, good morning. Good morning. So I bought a little bit more down here on the dip. Bitcoin trying to break out of this channel. And it's a Friday, so it looks like it can. Could break out of this channel very easily. QQQ all the way back up to 602, back into the green. Amazing. Going to be testing that 45 EMA again. Insane. Here we go, another rejection potentially. Testing that resistance level on the pre-market. QQQ potentially going to break above. Looking very bullish. And there we go. Looks like it's going to break above. A lot of consolidation right here at this level. Do you guys see all this consolidation? Bitcoin also pushing up. So it looks like it broke out of that little channel that it was experiencing for a minute. See if it holds. QQQ pushing up higher. 602.88. Nice little bear trap fake out here. Everyone thinks the market's going to sell off. It did. Now it's recovering. That's insane to see happen so fast, right? So fast. That's why it's important to make sure you lock in those profits when it makes sense to you. MSTR up to 131.55. MSTZ down to 1350. 1360. At one point we're up $20. Should have locked in the profits right there. And now we're down slightly. So just holding, still testing, still pushing. Here we go. Now selling off again. Major, or Andrew said, try to contact Robinhood. They just kept making me text an automated text and it wouldn't connect me with a real person to talk to. There's a way to get through that automated system. I think if you push a bunch of zeros, you'll get connected to an agent, possibly. Sorry to hear that though, man. I've been watching Zscaler and adding on my way down. Nice. Sometimes getting what you wish for doesn't feel good. Yeah, exactly. A lot of consolidation today, though, and that's okay. It's a light position. And it's Friday the 13th, right, guys? So anything could happen today. Here we go. Market's beginning to curl on over. Begins selling off again. Crypto beginning to curl over as well. Means MSTR is also beginning to curl over. QQQ, testing that moving average again, back down to 599. Love to see it. Love to see all this volatility in the market. you can win on both sides, guys. You could play TQQQ on the lows and highs and make a 3% move today. You could play SQQQ from lows to the highs and make 2.5% today. Either way, you can make money today, and that's what I love about the market. There's no right or wrong trade. As long as you see value, as long as you have a good trade setup and you manage your risk, both sides can make money on a daily basis. Whether you're a bull or a bear, which I have a picture of right there, if you guys can see, there's a bull and a bear, and I don't mind doing both. I don't mind trading the long, shorting the highs. It's just a lot of consolidation. A lot of consolidation right now. Little pullbacks happen. VIX is on a max though. Look at this. VIX is at 22. Remember, whenever I talk about VIX, if it's above a 20, the markets are more likely to sell off, which also creates a lot more volatility. When it's below 20, markets tend to do really well and push higher. Also, there's less volatility, which means there's less movement in the market, and it's at a 22 right now. So obviously, we're experiencing a lot of volatility. It's below that 45 EMA again. It went up to retest it. It got rejected. On the 5-minute, it's below the 200 moving average. So let's see. Let's see if the selling pressure continues or if we just begin to get a lot more consolidation. And MSTR seems to be following along with QQQ more lately than it has with Bitcoin. So it tends to sell off a little bit more aggressively when QQQ sells off. But I'd love to see both sell off, right? Let's get back below. Sometimes these are overreactions where they're like, okay, now it's bullish. It broke out. Let's get in for the high and let it run. And then sometimes it doesn't. These small little breakouts happen. It looks like if I delete this right here, it's getting rejected off of this 200 moving average on the 30-minute, which it's done previously. It's done that before. So I love to see if that happens again. Because obviously I'm shorting MSTR. We'll buy a few more here, 5 more shares at $13.79. Start doing increments of 5 as it consolidates, slowly bringing my average down. I was doing 10 shares at a time before. Now I'll start doing about 5 shares at a time. Still a light position, 55 shares at $7.55 in value. Love to see this pop back up. Now, instead of making, $20 on this moving average, it pushes up. It could be much higher because I've been adding to the position. It could be, $30, $40 for this move right here. Let's see. 8%. What's my moving average at currently? Or my average price is $14.22. $14.22. It's right here. Okay. That's still a nice 5%. 5% on almost 800. That's like $40. Yep, that's definitely $40 here. Let's see what happens. QQQ, still just holding. Now remember, QQQ could run up, right? It sold off aggressively yesterday, which means it could potentially run up at least back to 610, or 605, 610, heck, even all the way back to 617, right? There's nothing saying that this can't recover this nice little 3 stages of a reversal So it is a very risky trade indeed. I want more selling pressure. And everyone else probably just wants to see this push up. And last Friday it did push up. It had a very bullish day after selling off for 3 days. It sold off and then it pushed up on Friday. Now it's been consolidating for literally like 3 days and then a huge sell off yesterday, which doesn't mean it has to sell off again. This could technically recover. Okay, so be very careful with any trades you take today, whether going long, whether going short. A lot of consolidation here. I still think it's possible for this to sell off even more. I really do believe MSTR can sell off more. I believe Bitcoin will begin selling off more. It's already showing signs of it here. So we might get our trade. We might even get our target profit, our take profit, but it's probably not going to happen within this live stream, right? It might happen later on this afternoon. It could happen right after the live stream ends. But either way, we're doing our part by being patient today. Markets are back down below. Let's see what happens. A lot of consolidation here. And remember, the markets will sometimes recover for absolutely no reason at all. A lot of times sentiment goes to the bulls, and that's just the way it is. Trump flips a coin, he says a tweet, someone says something, and it pushes up, right? And it seems to be that's the way the market's been for quite some time lately. But fundamentally, this should begin to fall more. Technically, it should begin to fall more. Same with Bitcoin. This overreaction was only that. It was just an overreaction. Go, MSTR pushing back up or down, MSTZ pushing up. Again, at one point we were up 20 and we were down 40. Now we're only down about $11. This pushes up to this moving average, we will be up 40 again. And if you can't handle the volatility, you can't handle the swings, then you need to go back to the basics. You need to educate yourself. You need to practice more in a paper trading simulator or reduce your position size if you're not comfortable with the losses you're potentially taking. Okay. Also, stay in cash. There's no reason why you guys have to trade every single day. Just because I choose to sometimes doesn't mean you need to. And go back to the Learn to Earn lesson library. Watch the whole thing. Let me know what you learned. Let me know what you still need to learn more of. Right? And again, you might not know being a beginner trader. You might not know what you need to learn to be successful. That's why that A to Z library is there, to learn the basics, learn what moving averages are, learn what RSI and MACD indicators are, learning price action, learning, right? You're here to learn. There's no reason to overdo it, lose money, and get discouraged in the learning phase, because we're all have been there before. You gotta walk before you could run. Maybe you're trading with only one single share, not 50 or 100 shares, or you're paper trading. Remember, paper trading can be an asset. If you guys want me to make more videos about paper trading, I can, to help get you guys set up. But that is a video in the Learn to Earn lesson library. I do show you how to set up your paper trading account on WEBULL. And remember, you guys can ask me questions in the Discord. That's why it's available. It's a free community for now. Lifetime access if you get in today. You got the Learn to Earn lesson library. You get the Discord where you can chat with other traders and myself. and you get these live streams every morning, Monday through Friday. So making sure you're managing your position size, making sure you're managing your risk, making sure you're watching your, making sure you're watching all of that, because it's all very important. Here to learn. Let's see. I'll put this here for a second. Definitely need a recap of the A to Z library. I've been slacking since that stuff happened with the Hood app. Hey, I hear you, and stuff like that can happen. I feel bad because if I never talked about Hood, you maybe would have never taken the trade, right? So I don't want to lead you guys on the wrong path either. I'm here to lead you guys by example. I'm here to make sure you guys are making good decisions, and and I feel bad too myself, right? That's why I always say never trade based on anyone's opinion. Only trade on things that you see value in, and maybe at the time you did see value in it, right? But the biggest thing is not copying me, guys. You're here to learn. Major, I have started paper trading SPX spreads. Okay, so now Major's getting in. He's always been an options trader, but he's kind of going back at the basics. He's, paper trading options. He's learning, getting a little fine tuning his skill at trading options. It is a damn good job I'm not using cash. Yeah, and see it. There's nothing wrong with paper trading. I feel like people give paper trading like this weird stigma or like a bad rap because it's not real money, but it's all about practice. It's like a video game. If you could practice and take trades with confidence because you know you're at no financial or monetary risk, then you can take hundreds of trades, thousands of trades. You can get in and out of positions. You could test theories. You can test your ideas. You could test your trade setups, your plans. You could test when to cut your losses. You could test when to take profits. You could practice different strategies like scalping, day trading, short term, maybe swing trading on certain positions. And you could really fine tune your skills and your confidence level while no monetary risk. So then when you are comfortable and confident, you can begin to take those trades. And that's what I love about paper trading. Major, essentially on Hood, have you just placed too many positions and you have no margin left? Wait, essentially on Hood, have you placed too many positions and you have no margin left? Oh, are you asking Andrew? I think he's asking you that, Andrew. Major, I'm not sure if it just blocked my sell one day while it was profitable, then it just died after that. And now it's pushing up. I just got an alert that Hood was up 5%. Whoa, big move on Hood. I'm up 5% today, over $37 on 10 shares. Very nice. I thought about buying the dip too. I wanted to buy more at 70, but I was like, well, I don't really want to add like too much more to it. But yeah, look at that. It bounced right off of 68, 67. Now 70 was a nice support. Doesn't mean it can't come back up and test the 45 EMA and get rejected again. It is possible, but a beautiful move. I could have bought another 10 shares down here, bringing my average from, I believe, 94 to maybe 84. So my average is still kind of high up here. But a beautiful move by Hood today, up 5%. Netflix up almost 1%. I should actually be up a pretty significant amount. No, like $17. SoFi up 1.5%-ish. AG&C down slightly. QQQ back to 600. Look at all this consolidation. Very choppy in the market today. Extremely choppy. Bitcoin did come back to test that 67.9. MSTR just flatlined. Again, I want to see some selling pressure so that way MSTZ can go up. Down about 2 or 3% currently on 55 shares, about $700. Oh, now only down $15. Okay. Under 2%, that's manageable. Thinking about adding some more to my position, but I'm going to wait. This would be the point to add now that this is at an all-time high. Potentially going to get rejected again. But just what a very choppy day indeed, right? Very choppy. The market doesn't know what to do. But it is below this moving average for right now. Let's see what Nvidia is doing. Nvidia is one of those companies that really is a market mover, market maker. It's at $4.4 trillion in market cap. So of course, when Nvidia sells off, it tends to drag the whole market down with it. As well as Microsoft. Microsoft is a $3 trillion company. So this tends to also affect the market. And look, I'm thinking it's consolidating just as much as the market is, which could be why the market's consolidating the way it is as well. So here we go. Andrew, can you peep CoreWeave? Yeah. CoreWeave, CRWV. Same thing, a lot of consolidation. At one point, it was trying to hold above this moving average. Did you guys see this? Moving average do tend to be support levels or resistance. It acted as support on that 45 EMA. It broke that support and was using the 200 moving average as a support. Dipped below it, probably got a lot of bears excited. They began to add to their position because it retested as a resistance, and then it just shot right back up. A lot of bears probably got shorted out, right, or liquidated right there. Bounced up, holding above this moving average, and then same thing today, right? Beautiful little bear trap, pushed all the way down. Everyone's excited. Let's short, and then pushed all the way back up. And I'm sure there's some shorts that got stopped out as well. Now it's trying to hold above this moving average, but again, a lot of choppiness, just a lot of choppy. It's bearish, it's bullish, it's bearish, it's bullish. So, and again, you could trade these levels. You could trade these levels. Once you get to a point of confidence and understanding of the way a company moves, that's why I always say it's important to watch the same couple of companies every day, week after week, right? Put CoreWeave on your watch list if that's what you want to do. Practice paper trading it, and you can make these 6.5% moves, buying the low, selling the high. That's what day trading is all about. Understanding when it's oversold and then buying when it's overbought. And that was a 6.5% move, right? It sells off. You get that nice big green candle, you buy in, and then it pushes up, and then you start getting this consolidation, which usually means it's signs of a reversal from the direction, a change in direction. Sells off, and then look, consolidation, change in direction, pushes up. It's like a wave, and after a while you start seeing this wave, consolidation, sell off, and sometimes they happen so fast you're not even able to catch these. Consolidation, sell off, consolidation, push up, consolidation, oh, that wasn't the best way to do that. Sell off, right? So it's all about understanding patterns in the market, right? You get this consolidation, and then you get that rejection. And that's usually how stocks tend to move, right? You either get a sharp V recovery, or you get consolidation with the curl over. Consolidation with the change in direction. Love to see it, guys. I love to see you guys calling out stocks on your own. QQQ, see, back up to 602, now coming back down. Crypto's at 68. Ouch. Ouch. I might have to get out of this position. Bitcoin is moving. It is above that moving average now. Now there's signs of it breaking out. testing the 45. See how it was kind of hovering around the 45 EMA? Now we're going to see, does it break above 68,300, which is a critical level, right? It hasn't been able to get above the moving average since January 17th. It just continues to get rejected off of that 200 MA. Yeah, I'm going to have to get out of this position, guys. Already down $36. I'm going to reduce my position. Yeah, I'm going to reduce my position. Selling 40 shares here. Yeah, so at one point I was up $20. Now I'm down, and that sometimes is the way it happens. I can give this more time to play out, but as far as everything's looking, it looks like it's potentially a little bit more bullish today than bearish. I know Bitcoin shot up nicely and continuing to push up higher, so I don't like that either. I'm surprised MSTR hasn't popped up, so we're just going to get out of this position. And again, I could always buy in again later, right? So down 37. At one point we were up 20, and direction just wasn't in our favor after that. It kept selling off, selling off. I'm doing my part by managing my risk. I think we were down, what was that, 2%? Let's see, what was my average? Was it 14.22? I think that was my average from earlier. Yeah, about 5%, okay? So it's all about managing your risk, guys, okay? This thing continues to push up. I wasn't aware that it did push up because I was talking, but once it broke out of this level, then of course it showed more bullishness, right? I was hoping for that little reversal, that consolidation reversal. And MSTR could still sell off, right? I could have just got ahead of myself, and this thing could begin to actually sell off pretty aggressively. But right now with the consolidation, I'm just not really liking it, right? It's like steam in a pressure cooker. Once that steam builds up, then it's full force whichever direction it's going to take. It's either going to push higher very aggressively, or it's going to sell off aggressively. And as much as I'd like it to sell off, it doesn't seem to be doing so today. Just kind of flatlining. And then look at this. Look how aggressive Bitcoin pushed up. It pushed up another literally almost $1,000, and MSTR didn't even budge. It pushed up maybe 30 or 40 cents. QQQ, same thing, just testing that same area, right? We need to see a breakout above 602.96. If it breaks out of that level, then you'll see some more upside. But right now it is validating more of a bullish scenario than it is bearish now. When it was below this level, it was more bearish. Now it's acting more bullish. Bitcoin very bullish, which could then send MSTR up. You know, I'm comfortable with the $37 loss, right? We made plenty of money this week. $37 isn't much. You know, the thing is holding. If I would have continued to hold, you know, you could have turned a $30 loss into a $100 loss, a $200 loss, and that would not have been very good, right? So I'll show you my trades real quick. So there's all my buys, right? Buy, 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 buy. Got up to a $20 high here. I think it was like 3 or 4%. Should have just locked in my profits on 40 shares. And then I bought another 10, bought another 5. That gave me 55 shares. Looking for that bounce up. At one point we were only down, I think, $15, or no, it was $8. I remember seeing it only down about $8, and then it sold off even more. So got out at 13.57 for the majority and 13.43. Had a nice low average though. I think it was like 14.22. Yeah, about a 4 to 5% loss today. So basically my max loss for the day. Usually I try not to lose more than 1 or 2%, to put that into perspective. 1 or 2%, but I'd rather take a $5 loss than, you know, a or a 5% loss than a 10 or 20% loss. And we're still up on the day, right? So even though we took a loss of $37, we're still up 20. So if I would have took that other $20 in profit, we'd be up $40 today. So not bad, you know what I mean? And markets can still sell off. My trade plan could still be valid. It just wasn't valid at that point in time. All right. A lot of consolidation today. Majors sold a 240 put for IBM yesterday, $611, because I'm happy to buy it at that price if it falls. Nice. Nice. April 2nd. Okay. Beautiful. All right, here we go. Market's back below that 600 level. Right back to $600 and dropping. Crypto, again, kind of consolidating, so we could see a change in direction. It could begin to curl over. MSTR pushed up to 131.90. Okay. Honestly, but this is where I should have cut right here, right? At this resistance. It broke out of this resistance level from yesterday. So that's where I technically should have cut my MSTZ position, right? Because that shows that it's bullish. And that's okay. I gave it a little bit more time to play out. There's nothing wrong with that. It wasn't a bad trade. Was it a profitable trade? No. Was it a bad trade? No. I had reason to buy this dip, right? A lot of consolidation here. I had reason to hold, give it a little bit more time to breathe. And again, I could look back later on this afternoon and see this thing to where I wanted to take profit, and sometimes that happens. Also looking back, MSTZ was closer to this resistance level than it was support. So you always want to try to buy your long positions as low as possible to that support level as close as possible, right? All right, Bitcoin beginning to curl over. And we've been live for 52 minutes, guys. I usually go live for about 30 minutes to an hour. So it was great. You know, we got to capture the entire move on the live stream. I was even saying earlier that it might not play out the way I want it during the live stream. Like yesterday, you know, we traded MSTZ yesterday as well. And we captured the whole move. But let me show you guys. We made profits yesterday, right? So we locked in profits. But look how small the profit was. Buy, 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 sold. I locked in, I think that was like 5%. It wasn't very many shares. It was a light position. But I think that was like 5%. And I missed out on another 10%. This was it moved like 15 or 16% yesterday. And all I had to do was wait until, what, about 9:30? It was a 13% move yesterday. $1.83 per share. And I traded it right here. Captured it all live so you can go back and watch. But this is a day you want to make sure you hold your position longer, right? In the days that you don't hold long and you miss out on opportunity can influence you to think, okay, well, I'll just hold longer the next day. And then that's when you give it all back, right? And then that's when you're like, uh-oh, I should have held it yesterday when it was pushing up, or the day before, and then you try to do it the next day, and that's the day that really challenges you as a trader, right? You end up giving it all back. You hold your bad positions when they're going down, and you sell your winning trades too early, and that can happen too. So Bitcoin curling over slightly, MSTZ really not doing much. MSTR is still pushing up. So I think we did a great job by just exiting out of our trade. What could we do better? Obviously locking in profits sooner. QQQ pushing up. Again, it was a small trade, but just locking in profits right there would have gave us about $20. And $20 wasn't a lot, so I was willing to risk a little bit more, buy some at the dip in case it did push back up. So, yeah, sometimes it happens. All right, any more questions, comments, concerns? I'll stay on for just another minute or two to answer some of your questions if you guys have any. And while we wait, I just want to remind you that the stock market will be closed on Monday. So there won't be live trading because there's nothing to trade, which also pushes back our Sunday stock talk, which we host every week at around 6 p.m. That gives us the information we need to create a game plan for the following week. So that will get pushed back a day as well. So instead of Sunday stock talk this week, it'll be on Monday night. Monday is President's Day, so markets will be closed along with some banks, stuff like that. Schools are also closed, so you guys, if you have kids and you guys work at banks or, jobs like that, enjoy your 3-day weekend. Get outside, do something fun, do something good for yourself, so that way you can come back refreshed and confident to trade another week. So yeah, it was a good session today. Some days are very slow. Some days we don't even take a trade at all. I'm glad we at least got a little skin in the game. We traded a little bit. I got to share my thought behind the trades, and that's what this community is all about. That's what our Learn to Earn team is here to do, right? Here to learn how to trade more effectively, more consistently, lock in profits, so that way we can all end the year on a green note. We can all become more profitable traders. A lot of consolidation today, nothing like Friday. Friday it shot up. I was hoping for a little more selling pressure, but that's okay. We can get more selling pressure. And again, just because it's the first hour of the market open, we still have the whole day, guys. We still got another couple hours before the market closes, right? It's 1 hour into the session. We still got 7 hours of the market to be open. So anything could happen in between that time. And I just want to say thank you for showing up. Thank you for everything you guys do. I appreciate you guys. And at the very least, if you could just smash that like button for me, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't joined the Discord yet, first link in the description. It's 100% free, lifetime access. There's about 250 spots available before I begin to charge to get in. It is lifetime access, so you get in now, you will never be charged. Use it to your advantage, whether you want to start today or in a year from now. It'll always be there, always available to you for your lifetime and my lifetime. So, all right, guys. We're about to hit that 1 hour mark. And whenever we have those 1 hour sessions, there was a good session. When they're 30 minutes or so, doesn't mean they're not good, but it could just mean I'm either busy or sometimes like this, a lot of consolidation. Sometimes I don't even take a trade. So go back, watch some more of those live day trading sessions I have archived in the Discord. I have live streams that I've recorded for the past 2 years, all the way back to May of 2024. So go watch some more of those, and we'll see you all on Monday for a Monday Stock Talk. All right, guys. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend.